Hey guys, it's Alex with Dirt Warrior here. Today I'm going to show you how to install one of our newest vaults. This one is going to fit the CANAM X3 Max, so we'll get into it. Alright, some of the tools we're going to be using today are a 11/32 wrench, an 11mm wrench, just a Phillips screwdrivers, a 3mm Allen, and a Torx 30. This is what's going to come in your kit. We got our front panel here, the front door, the middle panel, the back door, the back panel, and then there's a panel that is like a filler panel for the back door. All right, we're going to start with our front panel here. All of our panels are meant to work with mirrors. So in this case, we went ahead and notched this mirror panel out. Some mirrors you can just drill a hole through. You kind of just have to work with whatever kind of mirror you have. And then all of our cage clamps are going to be mounted on all of the panels. So as you're taking these off, keep track of like what screws go where, because sometimes there are different length screws that need to go in different cage clamps. So I'll go ahead and take this cage clamp off. Set my panel down. I'm going to put the cage clamp on. They just snap on. Kind of rotate it around to roughly where it needs to be. Then I'll take my panel here and get it around this mirror. Get it like in position. Get it lined up. And then now I can adjust the cage clamp to line up with my hole. And I'll go ahead and run my screw inside through the panel and then into the cage clamp. And I'm just going to get this started here. Get it kind of tight. You don't want it to be all the way tight yet, because we will have some adjustments at the end. So I'll just go ahead and leave that right there. All right, now I'm going to work on the middle panel here. It's going to have 3 cage clamps and then this bracket right here. I'll start with the bracket, get the bracket on. So first I'm going to use a T30, and I'm going to take out a screw out of this bucket right here. It's just going like in your panel right there. Take that one out. I'm going to replace it with our M6, and then it's the same thread, but it's just changing it to a Phillips instead of a T30. And I'm going to take my bracket oriented like this with the bends out towards the door, and I'm going to run that through. And I'm just we're just using the M6 little clip nut that's already there. And I'll get that ran in there. And then again, I'm not tightening it all the way down, but just so it's not going to fall out. Just leave it kind of snug where I can still move this, but it's not going to flop around. Okay. Now I can grab the middle panel and the screws. I already got the cage clamps snapped to roughly where they need to be, but what you're going to go ahead and do is set the panel there and then snap the cage clamps on to match up with these holes. Okay, now I'll take the screw that has the nut on the back of it that we took off the panel here, run the screw through the panel and then through the bracket. And then I will get the nut started. I'll grab my 11mm wrench or screwdriver. I'll run that guy in a little bit. Get kind of snugged. Okay, that's snug. Snug this one up a little bit more. Then I'll tighten these ones up just a little bit more. Okay, now that those are snug, I can go ahead and slide my door on now. So what I'll do is I'll slide it just like through the barrel hinges. Now the door's on. So now what I'll do is I want to go ahead and close this door. Make sure it's like aligned where it needs to be. And I'll tighten those down so it doesn't move. After I have those three tight, I can go ahead and take my door off because it's just a little bit easier to work with this one with the door off. That way you're not reaching around it. Okay, I can just put my door back on and it should be aligned right where I left it. Alright, now I'm going to attach this panel right here. It's actually just a filler piece that's going to be going like right here. It's going to fill in this hole and then catch right here. So we'll go ahead and install that. We're just using the factory hardware that's in the door already. So I'll go ahead and take out this screw using the 3mm Allen. And then I will take out the T30 screw. It's just right behind it. And then I can just put it right back in. So I'll take our panel, take the T30, stick it through. That guy started. Alright, now that I got the hardware back in, the factory hardware back in, the holes here and this tight, I got it aligned really good with this piece right here. So that's looking really good. We'll go ahead and start on our back door now. So we'll take our back panel here and we're going to install it right here. So we're going to take out our T30. It goes right here. And that's just a factory bolt as well. And then we're supplying this little screw and nut right here. So we take the nut off of that. This one's a little bit tricky because it's in the gusseting of this. So it's going to take a little bit, but we're going to just put it through this little tiny hole right here and get that aligned. Okay, and then there's a lip on the inside of here, so it's a little bit tricky getting this thing started. So just be careful not to drop your nut. Got it aligned pretty easily right there. Okay, and I'll go ahead and start that. So I just need a screwdriver and then my 11/32 wrench. I'm just going to snug that down. Okay, now I can take my T30, put it through our panel and through the plastic. And I'm going to start tightening that down. Okay, got that a little loose, but I can slide my door on now. This one's a little bit tricky. You got to get it under the roof a little bit first before it'll align with the barrel hinges. But you just push up on the roof a little bit and it gets aligned. And that's actually looking pretty good right there. So I'll go ahead and tighten these down. All right, after I got everything on and aligned, I went ahead and tightened all the fasteners down. Now anytime I want to take this off, I can just lift it off and put it back on with no adjustment needed. So this thing's on there and it's looking good. Thanks for watching our install video, guys. Like our YouTube, Facebook. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks, guys.